We are live, and I am in a new place, changing it up, changing the scenery. Got my coat on. It's a little chilly. Was chilly. It's not chilly anymore. I'll wait for a few people to join us, and we'll get rolling. If you are on, go ahead and put your name in the comments. I'd love to see who's on with me, and I have some ideas of probably who they are. But go ahead, put your name in the comments. I want to see you. Don't be shy. No names. Come on. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. I believe I'm right on time. It is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in this video, quick little video, we're going to be discussing some of the ways that you're losing money on your Rotable repairs, and you might not even know it. It sounds a little crazy, but we'll get into the details. Who am I? I am Nate England, the CEO of Skylink, and I have been dealing with the headaches, the pleasures, and the pains of repairs for over 15 years now, so I've had my fair share of experiences. Looks like we have some more people who have joined us. If you are not shy, go ahead and put your name in the comments. I would love to see who is on the video with me. I might even call you out for a question. So we're going to get right into it. We all know how painful repairs can be. They can be incredibly complicated. Jennifer, oh no, what's up, Jennifer? Figured it was you. You're always on, so I'll call you out to ask a question here in a minute. But we all know the pains of repairs and how difficult they can be to deal with. If you've had experience dealing with MROs and more than a dozen of repairs at once, you know, shipping them all over the world, the various ATA chapters, the various MROs and OEMs you have to deal with, it gets really, really complicated. We have factored in it takes over 20 steps to process a repair order, and those steps range in the time and money investments that they take. So we'll be discussing, exploring 5 ways that you might be missing out or be losing money on your repairs and may not even know it. The first one is one that I think a lot about, and it's economies of scale. Yes, if you're JetBlue and if you're Southwest and you're Emirates, you've got all of the economies of scale in the world. But if you are a smaller airline, a smaller operator, a smaller MRO, a smaller supplier or distributor, you don't have economies of scale. And what is economies of scale? It's you sending, the simplicity is you sending a lot of volume to an MRO, so you have more bargaining power, you have a better relationship, you have the economies of scale leaning in your favor. So if I send 100 units to one MRO and you send 2 units to the same MRO, I'm going to have economies of scale because I have more parts being used at that facility. Now, how does that benefit you? It depends on your operation, but you may be losing money because you don't have economies of scale. You would want to partner with somebody who does have economies of scale, who has that relationship with the MROs. If you're only sending 3 repairs a year to a certain MRO and they're sending 1,000, partner up with them, utilize them, because their economies of scale is going to be worked in your favor. And with economies of scale comes better labor rates, better piece parting, better logistics. So it plays a huge role in overall strategy of repairs. The next one is overspending on shipping. Now, I hear a lot when it comes to repairs is the biggest one is well, I can just send it to X, or I can just send it somewhere closer, or it doesn't make sense. I can ship it to France, Russia, UAE, and Miami. And with that is when you're sending so many parts, so many ATA chapters to so many different MROs, you're spending so much money on shipping. Now, you might have to ship your spares all over the world into various areas, but really factor in shipping. Maybe you don't have the right negotiated rates with your shipping partners. Maybe it's the wrong freight forwarder, or you're using UPS when you should be using DHL for international shipping because they have better rates. These things play a huge factor, so really look at your shipping costs, whether you're over shipping to too many areas or you don't have the right shipping partners. Shipping is undoubtedly costing you money that you may not be factoring in. The third one is you're focusing, or your team's focusing their productivity on repairs when actually there's more profitable places for them to be focusing. For you or for whoever that might be, it's going to be different. But can you or your team be focusing on areas that have a better impact on your operation? If you can, and you're focusing on repairs, you're losing money. And you can see, in this whole repair cost, you losing money on repairs and may not know it, is it doesn't always have to be tied in to repairs itself. It's the overall operation, the overall view of money. Money is tied out throughout your operation. It's not just specifically in the units. I see a lot of people who focus on price and neglect cost, but the price right now may be cheaper, but cost over the life cycle of the supply chain gets really, really expensive if you're not focusing on it. So really think, is this the best use of you and your team's time? If not, you need to figure out how to automate it or work with a partner, trusted material advisor who can help you with that. Depends on your operation, depends on what strategy you're looking to incorporate. But if you're not focusing on the highest level activities that drive the best productivity and the most profit or reduce the most cost, you're going to be missing out. And if you've joined us, go ahead and put your name in the comments. I'd love to see who we have on, and so we can chat. Jennifer, what's one of the biggest problems you see either with your clients or with some of the MROs you deal with? What are some of the biggest problems that you encounter yourself while I'm on number 3? I'll wait for you to chat that question in, and maybe I can answer it. If not, I'm gonna go to number 4. Another way you could be losing out on repairs would be not focusing on driving down the cost. Is we find a lot of MROs, we'll just call it what it is, have inflationary piece part prices. The labors typically can be on point. They can forecast that, but they might see an opportunity to have $1,000 piece part and upcharge it to $2,000. So one of the biggest ways you can save money is by piece parting or focusing on a piece parting initiative. And there's regulations out there. There's things changing. And Jennifer just typed in, thank you, Jennifer. TT seems to be an issue. Yeah, piece parting is a great opportunity. Why? Because it drives down the cost. Yes, you have time and material can almost always be overwhelming in driving up the cost. So if you can piece part, if you can get that $1,000 part down to $500, or the grease or the gaskets and all of these piece parts, that is a huge advantage to your repair process. But you might not have time. Number 4 might contradict number 3, is where if you did focus a lot on piece parting, it still wouldn't be the best use of your time, and it would make you less effective and less productive. So you have to play that balance between number 3 and number 4. And Jennifer threw in there, TAT times seem to be an issue. And Jennifer, I would agree, but it depends on what type of TAT or turnaround time are we just talking about. Now, if we're talking about something that happened, and I overheard in the offices yesterday, is if somebody says, yeah, we got you, we can get your repair done in 2 days, when I know for a fact that our average repairs with that MRO are running about 14 days, then yeah, of course, TATs are going to be an issue. Absolutely. So I think we have to look at the dichotomy of our lead time averages actually accurate. And I think that, and is it realistic for the MRO to actually do that? If an MRO is saying, hey, I can get it done in 2 days, and they average 7 days, then that's not, one, it's not truthful, but it's maybe they don't have a good eyesight for their operation. So you have to factor that in when dealing with MROs. Now, if it's your operation that needs let's say they do average 7 days, but you need it done in 2 days, that falls on your operation. That falls on something that you need to think about internally. Maybe you need to have a a pool, or maybe you need to have an exchange program, or maybe you need to figure out ways to reduce your rotable cycle times. Maybe it's shipping an as-removed unit, you stocking a repaired unit, and then rotating them as items are removed off the aircraft. So TAT is a big issue, but it all depends on, if I ask the question, okay, well, what is the issue with the TAT, then that is a better representation of what the actual issue is. Hopefully that kind of sums up maybe what you were throwing in there, Jennifer. If anybody else has any questions, I'd be more than happy to try to discuss it with you. Hopefully you don't throw me any curveballs. But I'm going to go to the last one, the fifth one. You could be losing money on repairs is communication. Not having the right partnerships. It sounds so easy, I know, but you would be surprised how communication inhibits the repair process. So let's just go to communication and what it is. Let's say with an approved vendor, somebody you really like, if they quote you 7 days average and you're AOG and you're rushing them and you need to get it out in 2 days, you're going to pay more money. You might force them to rush. You might force them to buy a piece part that was too pricey. They might charge you an AOG fee. So communication and organization becomes really important within your repair process. So to run these 5 back down is economies of scale is number one. Is how can you send more volume? And if you can't, work with somebody that can. Number 2 is overspending on shipping. Are you being smart with your shipping? Are you using the right partners? Are you using the right freight forwarders? Are you consolidating? Number 3 is repairs pulling you away from other more productive aspects of your role, your job, or your operation. Can you be focusing on better uses of your time? Number 4 is a big one, is piece parting. I ran that through that. I can't stress enough piece parting to drive down MRO costs. If you can do it, if you have the opportunity to do it. If not, again, work with somebody who can. And 5th and the last one is communication. Communication is always an issue. You have better communication with your MRO partners, your supply chain partners, your internal team, your repairs team, your finance team. The better the communication throughout the entire process, the better you will be. And we are about 12 minutes in, and I'm going to call it a wrap, and that's it. I would encourage you to head on over to neverforgetyourwings.com. That's neverforgetyourwings.com. And we give you a ton of tips, tricks, and trends that will impact your aircraft maintenance and material life. So go over there and check it out. I think you'll dig it. And I will see you next week. Take care, guys.